push to ban early season polls, not just preseason polls, is on inside the Big 12 Conference. Now, let me get this right. The Big 12 Conference believes that early season polls could send a negative narrative into the college football playoff selection committee. But yet they want to give more power to the playoff selection committee. Welcome to episode 446 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time. Episode 446. We'll provide a link in the description box below the video. Brandon Marcello, 247 Sports. The Big 12 nixes preseason poll to help shape the narrative. Should a national college football rankings follow suit? Frisco, Texas. Preseason polls are not supposed to have a bearing on how the college football playoff selection committee ranks teams later in the season. Still, the Big 12 is taking extra care to make sure the CFP doesn't have an additional ammunition to use against the conference later this season. In a surprising move, before the 30th year of the conference existence, administrators and coaches opted to discontinue the media's annual preseason poll. Their unanimous approval in a vote conducted earlier this summer was straightforward. Significant roster turnover due to the transfer portal often leads to preseason polls, painting an inaccurate picture of teams, and increasing parity in the Big 12 has allowed for wild, worst to first finishes, which usually hinder a rise in the national polls. We are adamant as coaches to our athletic directors that we have to get rid of this because the narrative is so poor. Kansas State coach Chris Kleiman told CBS Sports last season that team was Arizona State. The Sun Devils were picked by the media to finish last, 16th in the Big 12, but wound up winning the conference title and clinching a berth in the CFP with the number 12 ranking. Arizona State finished with 11 wins, but didn't appear in the national polls until week 12, the third week of the CFP's rankings. In 2021, Baylor was picked third to last in the conference, but went on to win the Big 12 title and finished number 7 in the polls after winning the Sugar Bowl. I think it hurt Arizona State last year, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark told CBS Sports. It set an expectation. So then when you're in that room, whether it's the selection process or not, how do you rank a team that was ranked 16th in their own conference? Whether you can see beyond that or not, I don't know. I can't speak for anyone, but we just felt that it could have disadvantaged Arizona State. Making the connection that preseason polls influence how the 13-person selection committee votes when it begins its process in November is a challenging ask. Still, the CFP's top 25 often mirrors the AP top 25 in coaches' poll late in the season. Early in the season, the AP and the coaches' polls often remix the same segment of teams, despite early losses, often falling before being taken out of the top 25. Take Florida State last season, which began the year ranked number 10, but finished unranked with only 3 wins. On the other hand, 4 unranked teams in the preseason made it to the CFP: Arizona State, Boise State, Indiana, SMU. It's hard to put the sun blockers on, but we encourage and require our committee members to do that. They're all professionals, CFP Executive Director Rich Clark said. We're all committed to this. So they're going to do the right thing. They're going to take every piece of information, whether it's data, whether they see on the field, what they hear from the conferences. They get feedback from the conferences as well. They're going to take all that info into consideration. Holy smokes. What other polls do, what they may hear it or see it, but that's just another point they may or may not consider. The Big 12's crusade to change the narrative might not be done. Kleiman revealed to CBS Sports he is privately advocating for the abolition of preseason voting in the AP and the coaches' polls, a practice that began in 1950. He said conversations are underway among coaches in the Big 12 and the American Football Coaches Association. I don't think we'll get it done right now, he said. We're trying to push. When the CFP comes out, that's when the first AP and USA Today poll should come out. So Chris Kleiman, probably others in the Big 12, probably other coaches around the country are advocating not just a ban on preseason polls, but early season polls. The first AP and USA Today, the coaches poll, should come out when the first CFP selection committee rankings come out. Holy smokes. The narrative tells you everything, and unfortunately, that's not great for the Big 12. It's probably not great for the ACC. You know, it's just not. There is more to the article. Again, I'm going to provide a link in the description box below the video. Yes. The narrative doesn't usually help the Big 12 and the ACC. And it's not just Big 12 and ACC schools in which these preseason polls set a negative narrative. Let me take you back to my beloved Golden Gophers in 2019. The Gophers were 8-0, and they were ranked 18 in the playoff selection committee rankings. They were the lowest ranked team at 8-0 in the Power 4 conference in history, because due to the fact that Minnesota was predicted to come in the bottom quarter of the Big Ten conference. Then the Minnesota Golden Gophers defeated Penn State, two 8-0 teams. Penn State was ranked number 4, Minnesota was ranked number 18, Minnesota won, and they jumped to 8 in the nation. So it happens to other schools as well. If you're rated, if you're not predicted to do well, it takes you a whole lot more work to get into the top 20, to the top 10 of the college football ranking selection committee, which again is more of an argument to take power away from the playoff selection committee, not give them more power. Don't go 5+7 to 5+11 if you can't even trust the committee to put blinders on when it comes to early season polls. It doesn't make sense. Later in this article, BYU's head coach Kalani Sitake says, why don't we do it like the NFL? Let's take a look at the standings. Make the standings determine what happens for the postseason. That has become an obvious answer to me. Not so much to many people in the PATC family. You want to give the selection committee more power to determine who's going to the playoffs, 5+7 to 5+11, but yet the conference, Brett Yormark, who's pushing for 5+11, they want to ban an early season polls, definitely preseason polls, because they don't want to set a bad narrative, because they don't trust the selection committee. Make it make sense. Put down your comments, the comment section below the video. The push to ban preseason polls, early season polls is on. Whew. We are in for a long summer and fall. Again, thank you for joining us here at at episode 446. Put down your comments. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please, y'all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.